It is 17 degrees outside, which means it's getting a little too cold down here in this basement studio of ours to continue our work, but I was thinking, what better way to make it feel warm down here than to walk to the bank. And the bank shares a building with the library, and look what was in the free section at the library. Just goes to show you, good things happen when you do stuff. All right, continuing along our quest to learn every song in the history of mankind, we have Heaven's Dead by Audioslave for Nick Croce, and Nick Croce. Four Nick Croces. He really wants to learn this song. One of those Nick Croces is the drummer in my band, and we have a jam coming up in 2 weeks, so we'll have some exciting stuff to show you then too. Anyways, drop D your bad self. Low E string is now a low D string. The D major scale on the A string, so you're not surprised when the notes pop up in this riff. Do, 5th fret, Re, Mi, Fa, So. That's as high as we go, but we could go La, Ti, Do. So it's 5, 7, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. And then going back down, 4, 2, open. We're not going to use the open one, but here we go. Ready? You're going to bounce back and forth between the A and the now D strings, starting on the 9th fret, thusly. And that's kind of the pattern. A, D, A, D, A, up to the 10th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, and then when you get to this part, you can kind of gently strum both strings. 2, 4, 5. Here we go. Except for the times when it goes. 12, 9. And that's the verse. All right, the first chorus is abbreviated, of course. It's half as long as the rest of the chori, but you can do this one of two ways. Here's level 1, just drop D power chords. So 5, 5, 5 on the fat strings. Up to 7, down to 3, and then that's it. But there's the unmistakable sonic footprint of a major third in all of those chords in the song. So how do you accomplish that in drop D? Here is the trick. Middle finger on 5D, 5 now D, right? Ring finger on A5, and pinky finger on always has been D5. Pointer finger back here on G4. You're making an E with these fingers now, an E shape with these fingers, and this is the major third out of your E shape. You know that because when you make E minor, you take away that one and it makes it a minor third. The third is the thing that changes between major and minor chords, so through the power of deduction you can figure out that whatever note, look, A minor, so where's the third? It's on the B string because that's the one that changed. Anyways, 5, 5, 5, 4. That shape up 2 frets, and this is an A. On the A, you hear them sus for it, and the way to do that is kind of as specifically as you can. Mash your pinky finger to get that G string 5th fret as well. Down to the 3rd fret and 2nd fret there, and that's it for the first chorus. Then, of course, the rest of the choruses are longer than that, and they start the same. Let's do the power chord way first. 5, 7, 3, and 2. Followed by 5, 7, 3 into the solo, I think, right? Okay, but if you're doing the major third way, you're going to do your G major third here. G with major third. Up 2 frets. Down to 3 and 2 for F. And then E in the key of D is minor, so no surprise, you hear 3, 3, 3, open, open, open. For a big drop D E minor chord, you're accomplishing the exact same thing as playing E minor in regular tuning, but this string's 2 frets lower, so you gotta put it 2 frets higher, and this, in drop D, is an E minor. So whole chorus, whole second chorus. we're talking about the B minor pentatonic because B is D's relative minor. Relative minors, here's a D root, right, on the A string, 5th fret. A relative minor is always located 3 frets lower from its relative major. So if you know the major key, which you do because I told you at the beginning of the video, then you know the relative minor. All you got to do is go 3 frets down, and that's how you know where to start your minor pentatonic. So B in regular tuning is on the 7th fret of the E string, right? We're going to abandon that string because we're in drop D now. But you're left with 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10, just as your starting point so you kind of know where you are. And you're going to go G7 and E10, G7, B10, now B8, 7, and then G9. So G7, E10, G7, B10, 8, 7, G9, give it 3 little bends, and then come off to G7 and D9, followed by G7, B10, and G7. Second half, you're going to start on B10 with your pinky and pull off to 8 with your middle finger and pull off to 7 with your pointer finger. So, and then back to 8, 7, land on G9. Back to the B string, 7, 8, 7, and then G9, 7, followed by the harmonics. One of the cool, convenient places that just happens to be that you can make harmonics is on the 7th fret, and when you do the harmonics, you want your finger to be right over the metal bar, not where your finger would go if you were making a note there, right? So you just touch as lightly as you can, and you pluck D, G, B, G. So. And that's the solo. We just got the bridge to go. Awesome. All right, check out the genius of this bridge. So I've always told you, whenever you see a shape that's like C, where you've got a finger on a low string and then another finger, one string towards the floor and one fret back, you want to look at that as a root and a major third. And as we were kind of just talking about, a minor third is located 1 fret lower than that, so this would be a terrible way to play C minor, right? But as 2 notes, it's not terrible. As a chord, it would be terrible to be like... That's a bad way to play C minor. But, so you recognize what's going on when we put our ring finger on D12 and our middle finger on G11, and just for the sake of hearing it now, we're just going to strum those 2 strings. And then we're going to move the ring finger down 1 fret, but make it a minor third. So now we have 11, 9, 2 frets lower, still minor, 2 frets lower with the root, but make it major, so 7, 6, and then we want 4, 2, and then 2 frets lower than that, your pointer finger's services are no longer needed. Back up 2 frets from whence you came, and then a low D. So we got 12, 11, 11, 9, 9, 7, 7, 6, 4, 2, 2 open, 4, 2, D. I lost the rhythm. I lost the tone. Okay, I got it back. Now notice when I'm doing this, I'm not being really careful to just strum the D and the G strings because those 2 notes, D's root and D's fifth, are always okay to hear. So if you hear them during our little riff, that's totally okay, even welcome. So here we go. And then the fill is awesome because the end of the fill is the beginning of that swim down section. We're going to go open D, 10, 12, A10, 12, D10, and then D12. But when you hit D12, you got to get back to your little root major third shape there. So nice and slow. I'm kind of doing power chords there, and I think they are too, because it's got a real fat sound to it. So power chord, power chord, power chord, note, 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 riff. Instead of, you could do power chord 2nd fret, 4th fret, D. There is a guitar doing that in the song, so you can do whichever one you want. That's the easier and arguably more fun way to do it. But and the last time on the fill, instead of going all the way up to the D12, since we're going back to the 5th fret power chord or major chord for the chorus, you're just going to go open 10, 12, 10, 12. So like this. And in context, and I think that's it for the song. Let me just double check. Yep, last thing to note, that in the going back into the big bridge, it's you know, you're doing the chill verse. And you do 2, 4, D, and that's it. So Nick Croce, and you. I hope you enjoyed that, and thank all 5 of you for being here. And I will see you next time with more stuff. Good luck, and goodbye.